Welcome to the bonus episode of the Lighthouse Conversations, a podcast featuring entrepreneurs and tastemakers from the worlds of arts, culture, tech, and of course food. I'm Hasham Montasser. Last week, I spoke to Shereen Al-Mulla, herbalist and co-founder of Hikmah Rituals. There's just a little bit more from that conversation that we're sharing on this bonus episode. We talk about using social media for our businesses, especially for our generation, and about the science behind cold showers and ice baths.
I did an ice bath for the first time last week.
Oh, I was supposed to do it this morning.
Oh, really?
And I didn't go.
Yeah. Have you done it before?
No.
Have you seen the that Instagram guy, the dude with a sign? He says you don't need to tell everyone about your cold plunge.
I know. I did it.
Because I told everyone that I did it the next day.
I had an 8:30 this morning appointment.
Yeah.
I woke up with one of my children acting up, and then I was like, "Screw it! It's not gonna happen today."
It was amazing. I don't know, like it's not going to be a regular part of my routine.
No, I hope not mine either. I mean, how many minutes did you last?
People get addicted. I did 3 minutes.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, but I kept saying I want to get out, and she was like, "You're in control." And as soon as she put that, back in my head that I am in control.
Oh,
like you can get out whenever you want. You are in control. And then she's like, "But you've already made 2 minutes." So I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna put."
So it's in my gym. So I told my personal trainer, "You'll come in with me, and every time I want to come out, I'll curse at you." Which would give me ability to stay another minute. That was my plan. I think I was more excited about cursing at him today than the cold sensation.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
But I started going.
You should film it. You should do a podcast in the ice bath.
But how long can I last?
It's okay. Just do a quick
Would
one.
be like
firing questions. No, keep filming every week. 3 minutes, 3 minutes, 3 minutes. So it ends up being one whole.
That's so funny. Well, I follow this guy called Huberman.
Yeah.
And he has this podcast. I think a lot of men like in my age bracket follow him, which I found out. I thought it was so unique.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, "Oh yeah, I know Huberman."
I recently started following him.
Yeah. Anyway, so Huberman, one of his things is the physical benefits and the clearly medical and physical mental benefits of cold showers and that cold exposure. And he talks about dopamine levels.
Yeah.
And how if you have a low base of dopamine, that actually raises the base.
That's amazing.
And it doesn't raise it just when you get the cold exposure. You get a bump
after.
But then there is a kind of gradual. So people that have depleted dopamine levels, which comes from everything from, alcohol to drugs to other things, it's a very and for regular use, it's a very effective way to regulate dopamine.
That's brilliant. I didn't know that. Okay.
And so I didn't do the cold bath, but I started as a result of hearing him, because he says it's almost like it becomes a mood enhancer, right?
Yeah.
So taking just super cold showers every once in a while.
Well, that's amazing.
And I definitely feel a difference. After the cold shower, mood-wise, it's like all your dopamine. I mean, you literally feel, it's like eating dark chocolate.
Yes.
You really feel instantly a little more peppy.
Does your water get cold in your house? Mine, I need to get a chiller. Mine's never cold. I can never get a cold shower.
Yeah, you need a chiller. Or get like an ice bucket and have one of the children.
Something like that. Maybe.
So we deviated. Okay.
Yeah, we majorly deviated.
Because
I just had to tell everyone that I did an ice bath, have to spread the news.
I think you totally should have. So what did it encourage some of your friends to do it?
Yeah, actually my friends encouraged me. And then people started, no, I think everyone's just doing it anyway. I'm not going to pretend I'm a trailblazer of like ice baths.
What is your primary method to, is there other methods to let the world know about this? Because again, part of what you're doing is you're obviously selling a beautiful product, but you're also telling a story. So for example, when I was doing research for this episode, I was reading about your partner, and she was talking, or both of you actually were talking in one of the interviews about the medicinal aspect of this, the fact that it's always been part of our heritage. So there's a story there. How do you tell that story?
It's on things like this.
Okay.
We're still learning, because this world is it's disjointed. Like, where do you go? Do you go to socials? Do you go to digital marketing? That's a whole beast on its own. Do you go to like where we're part of a generation that's like kind of this in between, where like I don't know how to communicate a message anymore and I cannot look at TikTok.
We grew up offline.
Exactly.
We understand online a bit, but we're not like our children.
We're not
fully digital. So we're in between.
Everyone's like, get on TikTok. And I can't. It's very jarring to me. And it almost goes against the ethos of everything that I want to do, but you have to, because that's the way to get a message out, and that's the way to communicate
you need to find a platform that feels authentic to you. I mean, I don't want to overuse the word authentic, but if TikTok doesn't,
no, it doesn't.
Then you shouldn't, because I think people sniff the stuff out, right? If you don't feel comfortable, when I watch it, I feel immediately that you're not in your element.
Yeah, and when it's contrived, it doesn't work.
It's going to be contrived, exactly.
So so that's what I think Instagram is great for us.
Yeah,
we like
stories,
to do our
stories,
our how-to videos. Like recently, we posted. Some people didn't know that you need to infuse your the one I gifted you today, that you infuse for 15 minutes. And everyone's like, oh, because usually you dip your tea bag in 1 or 2 minutes and you take it out.
These are the roses.
It's rose, cardamom, dandelion leaf, and peppermint.
I feel like I want to eat it.
I know, right? That one makes me really emotional.
Wow.
Like it actually moves me to tears sometimes when I smell it.
Did you experiment with YouTube videos as kind of a how-to, or was Instagram the most sort of...
I think Instagram's the easiest, the quickest, and you can shoot stuff out, right? And there's people on there and everyone's on it. I mean, myself included. I use it a lot. So, so yeah, I like that. I think that's what that speaks to, like, is easiest for me, Mehdi and I. Exploring other avenues, we're still learning as well. And a lot of word of mouth has really helped us.
If you dream, what would be your aspirations with Hikma? How do you look at the brand? How would you like to see it?
My dream as a brand, my dream for what Hikma gives to people is to actually provide them the healing properties of the plants. And that's my dream. For when people come to us and say, oh my goodness, this has helped me so much, or I feel so much better, there's nothing more rewarding than hearing that.
Is there a way to provide testimonials?
Yes.
Where?
On the website.
On the website, okay.
On the website, though not many people are doing it.
Okay, no, that's why I'm asking, because I think that would be interesting for you to get that experience. I mean, we get testimonials via, like, you
tell us how you do it. Let me do the same
way. We Google. I mean, for us, because we have
the Google reviews.
Yeah.
We need to, we're just so, like, we need to figure out all this stuff. But we've written down everything I've been sent, because usually people just WhatsApp me as well, or I'll get an email, and I've compiled it all in a list.
Google reviews is, I mean, obviously for restaurants, it's become almost like a default.
Yeah.
I mean, this can be a whole episode by itself, with the good and the bad.
Yeah, I don't trust Google reviews so much for restaurants.
I mean, we get good reviews all the time, but what I wanted to say is it's good beyond going to, if you had a physical space, seeing the people, that's the best way to see how they interact, how they like the brand.
Yeah.
It does provide insight. So
yeah,
I mean, Fana
totally.
tracks it, I track it too. And on occasion, I get an insight that I hadn't thought of. In many cases, just like good, bad, good service, bad service, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's like, oh, this is interesting.
It's good to know.
And in your case, because it's a relatively new product and it has so many elements to what it does to one's health, one's self, one's psyche, all of that, it'd be good to collect the kind of feedback.
Feedback, yes, I know. And actually, we want to ask, and we specifically want to start speaking to more men on what they need in this and what they feel they need help with.
Instagram, right? It doesn't mean
it could be. We started. We're not started. It's making it sound like we're regularly doing it, but we did it a couple of times. As just that simple. Ask us anything, And we got a lot of questions.
That's what I was going to say.
A lot of questions about health, like, what health concerns do you have? And it was a myriad of different things, from urinary tract infections to hair loss. So
yeah, and you can be like, to all men, X, to all women. I mean, then you can target the messaging.
But that's where I think Instagram is great, because you have an active conversation with your community that's following you, and it's brilliant.
70% of my conversation with friends that are entrepreneurs is on Instagram. I discover their brand, I write something, they write back.
I discover a lot of things on Instagram brands that I love.
Yeah, me too.
I think it's great.
It is.
You just have to, personally have to be mindful of my usage of it, because I find myself going to it automatically a lot.
You and everybody else. I mean, I'm like under the sheets. Of course.
And then I go through phases of deleting it off my phone, and then I put it back on, but then I go in through the browser and I don't know why I'm saying this out loud. It's so embarrassing. It's all
the typical, I mean, look.
It's really bad, but it's great for community. It really is. And also if you're running a small business, because, the landscape is mainly designed for massive mega businesses.
Yeah, and you can have it public, private, personal messages. I mean, I think that's a nice thing. I have a lot of people that I speak to only on Instagram. I don't even have their numbers.
Actually, I went out recently, which I don't go out at night very much anymore. And people were asking for my Instagram instead of my number.
Oh, that's interesting.
And I was like, this is the thing now, right? I didn't know. I mean, everyone was like 21. I'm 40. So it's a different, a big gap.
I mean, I don't know about if for example, they go to website as much as they go to Instagram. Yeah, I mean, I
no, they
find
go to
myself
Instagram
giving
first.
our Instagram account.
Yeah.
Now we just relaunched our website, so I shouldn't do that anymore. But I used to always give the Instagram account as a first
because that's your shop front, right? It's kind of like
your shop front. It's where I feel you get the full picture right away.
Yeah.
And it obviously connects to the website anyway via shop and all of that. So, but I think it's not an easy platform to replace and that's why I think, there's obviously room for things like TikTok and Snapchat and whatnot. But I think Instagram I think for all those that constantly call its demise, it's not that easy to replace.
No, I agree.
Thank you for joining us on this bonus episode. The Lighthouse Conversations is hosted by me, Hesham Montasser. Our producer is Chirag Desai, and our content director is Farah Al-Sharif. You can connect with us on Instagram at @thelighthouse_podcast for behind-the-scenes videos, and also listen to all our previous episodes in your podcast app. You can also visit thelighthouse.ae/podcasts to listen to all of those episodes.